Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Welcome back to episode 2 of my new series called Decentering Men, the series. I hate that episode 2 needs to be what it is, which what does it mean to decenter men? Because my first video, not all of it was bad. It wasn't all bad, but girl, it was a mess. I'm going to use the definition of decentering in psychology. Decentering, a central change strategy of mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. It is a process of stepping outside of one's mental events, leading to an objective and non-judgmental stance towards self. When you center men, you have to be highly judgmental of self, so critical of self. And this is why I am creating the series Decentering Men. Also, the definition for decentering: displacement from a central position, especially of the individual human subject, from a primary place or central role. So when I created my original episode, my first episode, basically what I was saying was I'm going to become more selfish and center focus myself. And whatever fits into that, fits into that.
Decentering, guys, decentering men out of your life is so refreshing. It feels so good to just be like, no, I'm good. The best part of decentering men out of your life is being able to keep your dignity. And with that, we get to center ourselves. It's such a great feeling to be able to be like, you know what? I am the center of attention of my day. I am doing everything to take care of myself today, tomorrow, next week, next year, in the next coming years. And there's nothing a dude, whether he's good or bad, can change that. And ladies, it is such a peaceful feeling to just be unmoved by a disappointment. By when a guy disappoints you, it's so nice to just be like, oh, you gonna do that? Okay, cool. More time for me to do whatever the hell I need to do for myself. I learned that when you come from a background of trauma where your parents did not really invest their time or care into you, that when it comes to relationships, you lose a lot of your dignity because you're always begging for their love, respect, affection, and you're oversharing, overcaring, overinvesting all the time. But it's so peaceful to decenter guys out of your life and make yourself the center of your own universe. Women are learning to stop, especially like women going through the healing process of their trauma. They're learning to not overinvest, and that you're not overinvesting into something that you're not going to get a good return on. Just do what you got to do for yourself. Don't explain the decision you're going to make. Just keep it pushing, because that's what men have been doing for years.
Now, the thing about decentering men, that looks differently for us all. For a woman that's in a marriage, she would set boundaries with her husband, maybe even her children, so that her needs are being met in that relationship, because she's not overly centering her man and her kids. She is also centering herself with her man and her kids. So her decentering men looks different. My decentering men as a single woman who is being suffocated by all of this content centered around how to get a man, 5 steps that you should take to get a date, all of this dating coach content and femininity content. It's like, it's too much. Like, it's overtaking my life, and it shouldn't be. Then if you're a woman where you've been in a long-term relationship and you've lost yourself, you stop doing the things that you were doing that you enjoyed when you were single. You just completely stop that because you got into this relationship. Your decentering looks different as well. Decentering isn't about removing men from your life. It's about creating balance. I talk about balance on my platform all the time. But one thing that drives me insane is people in the comments like to jump from one extreme to the next, and that is just not how my mind works. That's not how I live my life. I try to live my life from a center, alignment, balance standpoint. You can't be in alignment with self if you're centering men.
When I went through my most recent emotional deep healing process where I confronted a lot of my trauma, I became in alignment with my soul. So soul alignment is a beautiful term that describes you being a complete match to your deepest truth, to who you are at your core on all levels, emotionally, behaviorally, cognitively, and somatically. I feel the need to explain this because in episode 1, the comments, especially during the live when the video premiered, the comments were horrible and they were so negative that it was shocking to me.
All of the responses were not bad. I felt like the women that have been spiritually called to do this, we hear. So I don't need to explain much to you. I know you understand fully where I was coming from. But to the girls that thought that this was some male hating, male bashing movement, it's not. This is what I would consider the new wave of feminism, decentering men. Because we have centered them a lot when it comes to feminism. We have. In the history of feminism, we have centered men a lot. So much so to the point where it has always led us to unhappiness.
Being king is a hazard. My world has been made to revolve around me.
Ooh.
It just made me selfish.
The feminism that I want to promote on my page now is the feminism where you center yourself, you attract by centering yourself, and you move forward with your life through self and self-love. And it doesn't mean that you can't improve, you can't level up. You know, I'm all for that, but you don't change yourself to a point where it's just to please other people. And I felt like with the femininity movement, we are encouraging women to change themselves in order to manipulate men so that we can get what we want from them. And it's not working. If it was working, right? Why are we in a dating crisis? It's not working.
All people pleasers are manipulative, but not all manipulative people are people pleasers.
Okay, no, but can we talk about this one, y'all? Because if there was one thing that snapped me completely out of my people-pleasing tendencies, it was finally seeing people-pleasing for the reality of what it actually is. Manipulation. I had to take off the rose-colored glasses and fully understand that the only difference between negative manipulation and people-pleasing is that people-pleasing is just manipulation wrapped in a pretty pink bow. Instead of you trying to manipulate through negative actions, you manipulate through nice gestures or through morphing yourself into somebody you think they would like and not who you actually are. While on the outside those gestures may look innocent, when you look at the intent behind the gestures and the behaviors, you realize that it ain't too innocent. You are so desperate to be liked and accepted that you end up doing everything in your power to try to manipulate and control the connection, robbing them of the freedom of true choice. When you start thinking about it like that, you realize just how inappropriate and not cool it is.
And when something's not working, I switch it up. I change, I adapt, and then I move forward. And so what I am finding from a spiritual standpoint, as soon as I decided to no longer center men It's almost like the universe is like, okay, so we just gonna send you a bunch then. And so ever since I decentered men from like a subconscious level where it's like, when I go out, I'm just going out to have a good time. I'm just going out to just socialize. I ain't worried about nothing. I'm getting cute for myself. I ain't worried about nothing. It seemed like more men are approaching me. More men find me to be attractive. I think it's weird, but I'm like, oh my God. And I think the saying goes, when you stop focusing on something too much, that something can come around to you in the way that you truly want.
Like, if all you think about is a man, something is wrong with you. You know, if all you think about is a man, there's something wrong with you. Okay? You need to have other things to think about. You have other things to do. You need to have other people to meet, other things to see, places to go shop, have some stuff to do, have a life, have some skills, have some hobbies, you know, have some other things that you need to be doing. Once he realizes you're not chasing him or after him anymore, then he's going to be looking for you. Okay? Stop thinking about me. That's the last thing I think about.
And I'm like, oh my God, I need to tell the girlies to decenter men. I need to tell you to decenter men. Now, a lot of people ran with this decentering thing according to what other women are doing. And Yoni don't do what other women do. I do what I want to do when I want to do it in the way that I want to do it. And so by me decentering men, I went on a date Friday night. I had a great time. With me taking this approach in my mind, I'm getting more choices. And I like that. One thing about Yoni, she loves choices. And so I'm like, oh my God, I need to share this with the girls. I tweeted, I said, my Decentering Men series is about healing the inner pick-me and man-me. Performative femininity didn't heal our inner male worship. If anything, it magnified it. This series is about finding balance with centering self and attracting through self-love. So if you see your sis out here glowing, that's why. I've actually healed my inner pick-me and my inner mammy. I no longer care if I'm picked, even if it's by a rich man. I don't care. A lot of women make fun of pick-me's. I see that a lot. Y'all know I don't make fun of the pick-me's because everybody got to play their role in society. Now, will I be a pick-me? No, because I have self-worth. I can't be a pick-me and center myself. So I can't be a pick-me. But I also can't be the performative feminine woman either, because that's still pick-me-like behavior, right? You feel like you have to put on this performance to attract this great guy with money to be picked over other women who literally are doing the same thing now. And so I don't care anymore. Like, I'm more so centered, focused on myself, and I'm able to still attract that way. And a lot of women are having a hard time centering men, performative feminine, and they're having a hard time attracting what they want. I think women misunderstood what I was saying and how I was saying it. I am definitely tired of having conversations about men. I don't want to trauma bond with my subscribers anymore about men, because I'm about that action. Stop dating broke men. Stop sleeping with men that can't do much for you. It doesn't even make sense. If you get pregnant, he can't take care of you or that baby. It's simple. Close your legs. You know, that's an option as well. Or open your legs, but be choosy. Be selective. We having the same conversations over and over and over again, day in and day out, day in and day out. And it's just like, girl, live your life, make your choices and decisions the best way that you know how. Use your discernment and keep it push. But to keep having these same conversations day in and day out, day in and day out, I don't know how women are doing it. Which is why I want to get back to centering myself. Because I'm like, damn, there is more to life than coming online just talking about men all day. There's more to life than trauma bonding with women in friendships and online communities about men all day. There's more to it. I know how to support women through disagreements, through differences. So I have made it known, because I was like, why am I getting the reactions that I'm getting from women on my platform? And I'm like, where is this coming from? Because I was posting the Share 7 situation, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, where is all of this coming from? And then I'm like, oh, they think I have an issue with Share 7 because I said that I didn't have to get a loft in a luxury vehicle by using a man. It's my truth. I didn't have to do that. I use spirituality. You should follow my spiritual tier on Patreon. I use spirituality to get the things that I want. I didn't use a man to do that. That's just me being honest with you. But see, this is the thing. People don't understand that when it comes down to true sisterhood, you can support a woman through her differences. She does not have to live the same. She don't gotta talk the same. She don't gotta dress the same. She don't gotta be your twin. She don't gotta be your clone. She can do her. You can do you. But because we are women, we still support each other. That's why I was so confused. I was so confused because I'm like, why are women thinking I have this issue with her? But see, that's part of centering men too damn much. You care that much about men to the point where you think I'm your enemy because we don't have the same belief system or we have differences when it comes to how we want to approach men. There are pick-me's out here. There are mammies out here. There are women out here having sex for money. I don't care about none of that. You want to know why? Because one thing that I appreciate about true feminism and sisterhood, every woman has a choice. It's your coochie, it's your body, it's your business. It don't have nothing to do with me. The only time that I care about something, it has to affect me. If it don't affect me, I don't care. What you choose to do with your coochie, that ain't my business. How you choose to utilize your coochie ain't my business. How you choose to clean it, maintain it, ain't none of that my business. And see, that's the thing within sisterhood. If we would just mind our business and support each other through our differences, there wouldn't be any confusion on where I stand with Share 7. But people really thought I got some issue with her. I don't like her. Da, 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 da. But I've learned more about her through TikTok because people have chopped up her videos and they have shared them. And I'm liking a lot of the things that she says. Her overall message is women need to put themselves first. So because that is her overall message, the in-between stuff, I'm not tripping about that. And that's what this decentering men is all about. Decentering men is not even caring about plotting or getting some lick back or revenge on some man that did you wrong. You're in a I don't care mentality. And that's one thing that I truly admire about Cher. She don't care. She not insecure about her lifestyle. And I think that's part of the issue when I started posting those videos. You're not secure in your lifestyle. You're not secure in your choices. This is the thing that I have an issue with when it comes to women who date for money. Why don't you respect women like myself who choose not to? Because we see that as liberating. Your liberation is to date men, to use them for money. And listen, sis, I don't judge you for that. I still have a certain level of respect for you because listen, these men gotta pay their karma back somehow. It ain't gonna be through me because I don't have the stomach to do it. I don't even have the attitude to do it. Some women do. Some women are actually equipped to do that. So do you. But why is it always this beef, y'all? And this beef has been going on since our grandmamas, okay? Our grandmama's been having a beef. The housewife versus the side piece, or the housewife versus the woman that lives across town with her kids, knowing that y'all share the same man. This beef been going on since before I was born. And I'm just ready to dead it. Listen, what you choose to do with your body, that's your business. But why don't you see it as liberating for myself to be able to simply choose? That's it. I choose not to have sex for money. I choose not to put myself out there in that way because I find that more liberating for me, my life, my experiences as an ex-SA victim. It don't got nothing to do with you. If you've never been SA'd, I can see why maybe you take issue with my stance on why I don't want to use men for money. But I don't. It triggers my SA trauma. And I shouldn't even have to explain that to you. You should be able to simply respect my choice and decision because I see that as liberating because I got to choose just like you get to choose. I should be able to come on my platform and say, I don't use men for money. I don't have sex for money. I don't do none of that. Any man that comes into my life and any man that has came into my life and they've done this or that for me, which plenty of men have, I've simply appreciated it. It was never transactional. It was something that they were moved to do. That was it. I'm not about to go out here and do something that I know I'm not comfortable with just because women online are telling me to do that. That's not who I am. That's who you are. And I still respect you in the process of you being who you are and me being who I am and us just having differences. We are indifferent, but we are still women. And so this beef between the wifey type versus the 304, listen, we all have a role to play. The 50-50 girls, they got a role to play. The pick-me girls got a role to play. The mammy girls that be doing laundry and vacuuming and doing all this stuff for a ring, they got a role to play. And I have a role to play. My role is to center myself, focus on myself, and attract through self-love. That's what I choose to do. It don't got nothing to do with you though. Nothing. We should be able to respect each other through our differences because that's what true feminism, womanism, and sisterhood should really be about. If you truly believe in feminism, you don't always have to agree with a woman's choice, but if you truly believe in feminism, you support women that choose. With me saying all of this, because I feel like I need to put a disclaimer in here, I have boundaries within sisterhood. I don't like hanging around women that gossip, that are surrounded and just filled with drama, negativity constantly. I don't like being around women who are competitive and they try to compete with you on the low due to their insecurities. I don't like women who put themselves down. I don't like women who are harmful to themselves and to other women. I have boundaries, but I also understand that these women typically are not in the best place mentally. So I tend to support these women at a distance because I understand the process of not knowing who you are, being insecure, and just simply not loving yourself. And so, in my opinion, I still support these women, but at a distance because they can be a danger to me and to other women, especially if they have male identified tendencies that are rooted in misogyny. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and understand that at some point in time, we have all been pick-me's and mammies, and we grew from that. So I'm going to support them and love them at a distance and hope that eventually they snap out of it. You support women that choose. That's it. And it don't always have to be in alignment with what you're doing and your lifestyle. And that's why I'm creating the series, Decentering Men. Do we women know how to support one another through our differences, through our different choices, through our different lifestyles? Do we know how to support each other through that? The only time I care is when you bring something to my attention about a guy that you're dealing with and you keep doing the same thing, knowing you don't like the results. Like Summer Walker, prime example. She needs to put her coochie on some damn ice. It's only a matter of time before she's online complaining about men again. That's when I have an issue. You keep doing the same thing, then complaining. Then you claim you about to do better. Then you go back and you find yourself in the same situation. Then you want to complain loud about it. It's one thing if you a clown in private. You're not trying to involve people. But when you go involving the internet, you go involving your girlfriends or your friends, your family, that's messy. But if you want to be a clown in private, girl, that ain't my business. I've been a clown in private. I just like women who own who they are. I appreciate women that come into this space. They don't try to paint themselves to be a saint, holier than thou. Like, they just come into this space being themselves. Either you resonate with it or you don't. And I respect that. In a world full of fake people pretending to be things that they're not or people that they're not, I respect people that are bold, loud about who they are and not caring about what anyone else has to say about it. And that's what this whole Decentering Men is about. 3 things that I want us to take away from this episode. When you choose to live your life in the way that you choose to live your life, you can't care what people think about it. I don't care what path you choose, because when it comes to feminism, we get choices. When people aren't aligned with your choices, decisions, and your lifestyles, you should not care. Decenter men, and you really gonna stop caring. The second thing that you should take away from this video, we are all women, and when it comes to supporting women, support the fact that they get to choose. That is feminism. Feminism isn't being conservative. Feminism isn't being non-conservative. Feminism is about a woman getting to choose. Just like these men get out here, they get to choose. Women get to choose. Stop putting these rules and expectations on women. And it doesn't matter if you want to be a pick-me, mammy, gold digger. Support women because they simply get to choose in the same way that men do. I support women getting the opportunity to choose. And I think that's what my ancestors wanted for me. All the women that sacrificed wanted for me to be able to choose. It wasn't for me to be able to choose this life versus this life. It was me just simply being able to choose, which is why I support women. Third thing is you have to be secure in yourself. You cannot be going on to these online spaces seeking approval from people who do not know you, your life. They don't know you. And sometimes we listen to people that we relate to seek approval from them through their commentary or through their advice or through their coaching. But you got to be more secure within yourself to where you don't need that. You shouldn't need someone that you may look up to, like myself or any other content creator in this space. You shouldn't need them them to validate you. You should be secure within yourself. I'm going to dive deeper into this, but I feel like it needs to be said. Like, you don't need women who are doing what you're doing. You don't need them to approve what you're doing. Just do you. And I know that's easier said than done. And I think I'm going to dive deeper into this throughout this series about being truly secure within yourself and your choices and your life decisions, because at the end of the day, this is your life. And it doesn't matter what lane you choose to take, what path you choose to take, it's still your choice to make. And that's what women need to understand. I got projected on in the first episode because there are a lot of women that are not secure in their lifestyle, in their life choices. Me saying that this is what I do and what I'm not going to do, it shouldn't have any effect on you and what you're doing at all. You should be secure within yourself, and that should just be enough. I shouldn't have to come in and validate that for you, because there are going to be plenty of people in this world that are not going to agree with your choices and your decisions. I would not be who I am today if I relied on people giving me that stamp of approval, because I never got it. But I continued to live the life that I wanted to live because that's what I wanted. And I didn't care if people agreed with it or not. And maybe this is just the rebel in me. I am a fire sign, sun sign, moon sign, Sagittarius, and then I am a Gemini rising. I just know those are my top 3. And I'm very, very rebel-like. And I don't like doing what other people are doing just for the sake of what they're doing. I like to do my own thing. And this is why I'm creating this series, Decentering Men, because this is me doing my own thing. And you don't have to agree with it. I'm going to dive deeper into decentering men. I wanted to talk about seeking outside validation, male validation, seeking outside male validation, and then seeking validation outside of yourself. You're not confident when you need that. It's not a knock to you, because you can get to that point where you are truly confident in yourself. But if you really have to seek outside approval and acceptance, you're only confident when people give you the approval. I'm going to talk about that in the next episode, but I had to clear up some things. You have not healed your inner pick-me. You have not healed your inner mammy. If you feel like you have to perform femininity to get a rich man or to get a man with money, you have not healed that part of yourself. And we all have that inner pick-me. Even men have it. They call it simping, right? So they have it, but you haven't healed it if you feel like that's the only way you can get what you want. Sometimes being selfish is how you get what you want. Sometimes going against the grain is how you get what you want. Sometimes focusing on yourself is how you get what you want. It's not always being a people pleaser, a manipulator, or a performer. Sometimes you can get what you want by being your authentic self and going about things in the way that you want to go about things. But when it comes to social media, as of lately, we're all being taught to do the same. And we're losing our authenticness. We're losing our personalities. We are lost in identities that are not our own. I'm not saying that you can't choose this path or that path. It's not about that. It's about you truly choosing it for yourself and making choices and decisions based off of what you truly want and not what you're being influenced by when it comes to social media. Decentering men is about you centering yourself, putting yourself first, not caring what anyone else has to say about it, including me, and moving forward with your life. That's all that I have regarding this video. This concludes episode 2, and I'll see you for episode 3.